that was the coldest Hell Week, and that was, I mean, that cold, it sucks the life out of you. Like I was in like February, and like you could see your breath in the water. It was bad. It was miserable. There were so many guys that quit. That was probably the toughest buds class I was in. Was 281, and those dudes were all pipe hitters, badass dudes, and it was a bummer to get rolled, but I was down so hard. I mean, my battery was just drained, and I mean, I was coughing up blood. My vision was off. Like it was like my eyes were crossed, and I just remember thinking like I'm seeing things on the right on the left, and vice versa. It was really it was wild. And I'm like, this is different than like the training's hard and I am not keeping up. It's like something's not right. I was thankful that it was a legit medical issue, because then I'm like, okay, like this isn't just me like being a wuss or not keeping up. It's like there's nothing I could do about this. Like it was all, and really what it was all that runoff from Mexico in the water, and you get this. It's called red tide. They don't even put trainees in the water anymore if there's red tide. I was talking to some guys recently, and they're like, "Yeah, it's these guys haven't been in the water for like a month or whatever because of the runoff from Mexico, and it gets you sick." And I had SIPE and pneumonia, which SIPE is swimmer-induced pulmonary edema, which I was just coughing up blood. I had all this fluid in my lungs. And that was on Tuesday, like in the morning. If I would have made it to Wednesday and that had happened, I would have gotten rolled forward. And I wouldn't have had to complete the rest of Hell Week. And I would have just probably gotten rolled into the next class and then picked up with them after they made it through Hell Week. I'm glad that it didn't work out that way. I mean, I know a few people who have gotten rolled forward, and I'm just, I got the full Benny, full benefit of the training. And, at first I was like kind of relieved to take the role because I was just, smoked. But then I'm like, oh, I got to do this again, like for a fourth time, like first phase. The beginning of first phase is the worst. It's like those first 3 weeks, like Hell Week is what it is. It's 1 week where you don't sleep for a few days, which I found to be better than going to sleep for 20 minutes and then waking up and starting a new day, because that happened, in the first 3 weeks of first phase, because you've got, once the day is over, especially if you have like a nighttime evolution, right? You may finish at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, but that doesn't mean you're done. You still got collateral duties you got to do. You got to clean the trucks. You got to clean the boats. You got to clean the barracks. You got to clean your gear. You've got to sharpen your knife. You've got to polish your boots. I mean, and that keeps you up like till 3, 4 in the morning sometimes. And then, oh, it's 4:30. We got to get back on the grinder, or we got to get to chow or whatever. So I thought the first 3 weeks were worse than Hell Week. And when I looked at having to do that again, that was a blow to the morale for sure.